Hello and welcome to the best new podcast in the land. This is episode 3 of the Bubz and Moose show. We have had a little hiatus with the summer. Things were down, and Moose has had a bit of an operation. So yeah, we've had a little break. So if you are one of our 2 listeners that we've had so far, thanks for your patience. And now that's been repaid. So this is getting kick-started. Let's think of it as a reboot. Bubz and Moose show Kai, if you will. And so we're gonna start this off again and keep going. So you got myself, you got our faces now. So I'm Bubz. With me today is Moose with you on the screen. And yeah, let's get straight in. So but before I jump in, just first thing, Moose, this leg. What's the story now? Yeah?
No, so we've had the surgery and we're just in the recovery stages of just seeing how it goes. We've got a follow-up appointment to take probably some stitching out, and then after that, it's probably a 6, maybe 5 weeks to
We're on the road to recovery though right now.
basically. Yeah,
We've been saying for like every episode, this leg. We've now operations done. Now we move.
We've hung up the football boots though, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, we've got a new hobby to replace that with.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what this week we're gonna be jumping into. So our thing, the former collections and everything we've done, it started off with. I mean, the main thing was. I mean, there's other things part of it, but the main thing was trading cards and finding a sort of a market for those. And obviously, the biggest one in the world is Pokemon, and we all know how that is. And in future, we'll do a little podcast on that. But the other one, and one that's kind of like closer to our hearts, so to say, is Dragon Ball Super. I think that's just such a horrible name. It should be Dragon Ball Z Super. I'm always like getting confused, but yeah, Dragon Ball Super cards, right? So yeah. Before we go into the cards, in the summer we had the Super film come out. Superhero. I did a quick little video on my thoughts and stuff, but we didn't get your thoughts on it, Moose. Obviously with the summer and we kind of had to shut down for a bit, but if we can sort of quickly just sort of hear what you think about it. You saw it a couple months back now.
Yeah, I think I saw it on the second day it came out. I'm just trying to remember as much as I can now because you of all people know my memory is quite bad. So, are we going into like spoiler talk, or am I just?
Yeah. This is let's get that out of the way first, everyone. Yeah, if you haven't watched Super, we're gonna go, and we're not gonna go too deep into the film and stuff. We're just a quick thoughts, but yeah, we'll speak about spoilers. I mean, I've got my little mini spoiler-free review, I should say, that I did. It was all just like instant reactions out the cinema, but we're a bit more about the plot and stuff. Just tell me what you thought was good about it, what you liked, and then if you had some sort of critiques, throw those in as well.
Yeah.
So and where we think it might go from there, because we know the anime is coming back next year.
Going to be similar. Yeah, hopefully it's going to be a good one. So the first thing, guys, if you haven't seen Bubz's quick non-spoiler review, go check it out. It's very short, but it's very good. My thoughts on the film is I really enjoyed it. It had a slightly different style. They went with a slightly more 3D animated style, but there was a mix of 2D and 3D, which is really good. This one is really based more around the Gohan and Piccolo, because you can see that they've kind of been a bit shelved a little bit, and with Gohan just completely going into completely non-training and becoming this house house husband at home.
I know you're a big like everyone, like I alluded in my review that I'm a huge Gohan fan, so I'm all for it. But I know you're big, like you love the big two, Goku and Vegeta, right? Vegeta probably more, right?
Yeah, Vegeta.
So yeah, how do you feel that? I mean, we don't know much about his form. I've read stuff that it's as powerful as Goku and Vegeta in their sort of God blue form. Um, but yeah, and then I saw a quote from Toriyama saying this film's about catching Gohan and Piccolo up with Goku and Vegeta. So let's assume that he's now kind of on their level.
Okay. I
How,
mean,
yeah.
I mean,
How do you feel that going forward? And um,
I would say they did that with Gohan, but they probably just didn't give him enough screen time for you to really appreciate the, because it's
mm,
quite a big jump. If you're going to say that,
yeah,
yes, they've now reached the Super Saiyan Blue,
yeah,
it is quite a big jump
yeah.
considering where he was before.
One of my criticisms always been like
One second.
with Super. Oh, got the door up. Well, I'll keep going to the viewers anyway. Um, yeah, one of my criticisms has been for Super that people level up too easy. Like we've gone through a huge journey during Dragon Ball Z, seeing the struggle Gogo had to get up to level 3, say Super Saiyan 3. And then since then, we've seen the progression into sort of Super Saiyan Blue. But you first had Frieza come in, and he had like 4 months of training, and then he's up there. He's up there with them, and then you got these tournaments. You had the first tournament, and then the second tournament of power, and then there's all these other characters who are just as powerful, if not more. And okay, those you can kind of understand because they're in a different universe. However, it just makes the power levels a bit more insignificant. Where I mean, everyone who watches Dragon Ball Z will remember that first time he turned Super Saiyan 1. And you're like, oh my god, he's turned Super Saiyan 1, wow. And just the way, the emotion behind it, the way it happened, stuff. But then it's like, not to say it's famous. Back joining us, I was just sort of saying to people listening to carry on the conversation. We went through a journey in Dragon Ball Z, right, with Goku and Vegeta, the struggles and the way they've powered up and they got to level 3 and beyond, and even the way Super started with how they got to Blue, and so and it made sense, and you bought that. But then it kind of started with Frieza, where you have a character in 4 months of training or whatever it was, instantly he made such a jump in his power levels. And then with the tournaments, you had these new characters. All right, they're from other worlds, so you can kind of write that into the reasoning, but they're all just as powerful. And these levels were meant to be like, wow, so mythical levels that no one would ever be able to achieve these. But they're here. These are other characters who are just just as powerful. Frieza's, had 4 months of training, and he's up there with them. Now with Gohan, I mean, I'm biased on Gohan because I think for ages he's needed to. I mean, the way Gohan came in initially, as this kid with this hidden power, they wrote it like he's gonna be the one to be like the most powerful, right? And then that didn't happen. And all right, they wrote in a way that he's just stopped training and stuff, which is another thing that irks me, and I'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, it just took a death of, well, what he thought was a death of Piccolo to suddenly, oh, I'm this new beast mode. That's what they're calling it, I think. And he's there with them, like.
The, the thing is, right? So the first time like Goku turned Super Saiyan, that was because of anger.
Mm,
And then if you look at the episode where Vegeta is teaching Kaba in the middle of a fight how to turn Super Saiyan, he mentions it's based on anger. So that's how Kaba changes. I recently watched that anyway, so
yeah,
that's probably the bit that I'm up to, rewatching. But I think with Gohan, it's always based on emotion,
yeah,
because that was the first time he had changed to like Super Saiyan 2 when 16 was
yeah,
destroyed, and again seeing Piccolo in that situation. So I think his is really based on emotion. So slightly different.
yeah. No, it is, and they've always said he's got this hidden unlock, and we kind of saw that with the Mystic Gohan levels. I mean, I'm for it because I think he's needed to. Because what annoys me, what's annoyed me in the past, and what will annoy me if they do this again, and I have a feeling they will, because I just don't trust them with Gohan, is that he gets up to a certain level, or kind of catches up, and then he'll say, I need to start training again because I've slacked off or whatever. I need to protect my family, whatever it is, right? I need to stay in this, and then you progress into the next story or whatever it is, and he's back to like doing his education or whatever it is he's doing, um and he drops off again, and then you go back to this weak Gohan where he's not been training for ages. Piccolo's getting annoyed, saying you need to start training, and then he'll have another moment, just like before Tournament of Power, where he had that thing with Goku, and they fought, and he got him back up to sort of speed, and then he'll be back again, and then again the story will kind of focus again on Goku and Vegeta, and the side characters. I think having so many characters that's one of the dangers.
It's tough.
But
Yeah,
they
yeah.
kind of get left behind, Gohan included, and then he's not training. He's doing, and it's just the same yo-yo. Like, are we going to see that again?
Maybe the fans like that, or maybe that's their secret weapon. Because you kind of got the
I
Goku
don't
and
know.
Vegeta always in competition with each other, so they'll always be around about the same level. But then you can't have one villain that three people take on and can't defeat. So it becomes, because there's so many
Yeah,
characters. So
and
I understand what it's tough.
I get that, and this is the other problem, because then you have to somehow write out Goku and Vegeta. It's like with Superman, you got to write them out somehow for a while, and they've done that with Dragon Ball. Goku's always is away somewhere, or he's injured or something.
Mm.
I think in the new anime that comes, for a while anyway, Goku and Vegeta and Beerus, they'll be training away a lot more, or I mean, they kind of have been a bit, but yeah, they'll be away for quite large parts, and the focus will shift to maybe the guys on Earth fighting and then keeping up that power, maybe. But I don't know. I want to see them together. I want to see Gohan fight alongside them with this power level and surpassing them. But yeah, like you said, I don't know. How do you write three super characters being that powerful? Because then you got to get a villain who's just as powerful. And then where did he come from all this time that is this powerful?
There is one thing in the Dragon Ball Super that I just haven't understood, and is ever since Goku reached the Super Saiyan God and was giving Beerus a tough time, is kind of like, okay, now Vegeta's reached that level, and now you're saying Frieza turned golden and then made it difficult for Goku to defeat him, and now you've got Gohan as well. It's kind of like, well, what's happening to Beerus? Because eventually they'll is
Well,
Beerus
yeah,
is
and
Beerus
I
in
feel like
war?
they've almost retconned it a bit, because he gave Beerus trouble, right? It was almost like he was going toe to toe with
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
But now the way they've kind of writing, it's almost like, well, if Beerus wants, he can take you out in an instant.
Mm.
Like, he's there. Like, they have that sort of fear. So we've not seen how powerful Beerus is. But is he out? Because they keep saying, he's now in touch with, Ultra Instinct. This is the power of the gods and all this and that. So I don't know. I mean,
I've heard a couple of places online that Whis is stronger than Beerus.
yeah, no,
So I don't know
I've
what,
seen that. Well,
what
one
that
theory that
means.
I quite liked. I don't know if how much with the manga side of things. So I know you've definitely heard about Frieza Black.
Yeah.
Right? So he's found another level that sort of surpassed them all. And that apparently that level surpasses Ultra Instinct. Right.
Or does it?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
he's stronger than them, but not only that, um Vegeta achieves his version of Ultra Instinct. It's called Alter Ego, I think, and it's kind of like purpley. Spoiler alert if you didn't know that. It's in the
I do.
mangas, yeah. So
I was actually guessing something next would be purple, but yeah,
yeah, so he gets like, but his
that's my guy.
his power comes from more like the God of Destruction power, like Beerus's. But from what I've sort of seen and heard about it, so it's more purple in color, and it's more out of, whereas Ultra Instinct Goku's like, his movements and stuff is all it's in the name. It's very, his instinct is very countery,
Mm.
and defensive, and even his aura is all white and stuff like the angels, which is like Whis. Whereas Vegeta's comes from Beerus side of things. It's more about destruction and power, and he gets
And yeah,
and
yeah.
and I think the more sort of damage you take, the more powerful you get and stuff with that. I mean, this is manga, so we'll see how they do it in the anime, but that's from what I've seen. So, but it's the equivalent of Ultra Instinct, and now you've got Freezer Black, who's like taking them both out with just another form, you know, just had another form. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see if any of that comes in the anime. I'm excited for it.
It's exciting. Yeah, there's a lot of exciting things to come.
Yeah.
So, but
Okay. Well, moving on from that, trading cards. So the Dragon Ball cards, they're relatively new in comparison to other sort of TCGs out there. That I think about five. Well, I know this because of the 50th anniversary coming soon, so they're going to be 5 years old, right? So yeah, so you've been, as part of, you know, what you do and stuff. You've been collecting cards. You've been doing videos. I mean, if people haven't seen, we've got loads of box break videos on our channel of you hunting for the god rare, which I'll get into. But yeah, tell me what kind of got you into it, because you've got me into it now. I've been resisting for a while, but yeah, what got you into it, and just kind of talk about the community a bit of the cards and
okay, so yeah, that's a good question. I think, well, originally the whole idea to sell online was because we had all this base set Pokemon. We had like vintage Japanese, French first editions, and base set English Pokemon, and I just wanted somewhere to sell them, and I didn't want to do it on eBay. So that was the idea, to just get that up. And as I was looking on eBay and learning more about Pokemon cards, just Dragon Ball stuff started popping up. And I think the first set that I saw was Vicious Rejuvenation, which is I think probably the first set that I bought, the first booster box. And I thought, let me just have a little go. Let me try, see if I can make my money back. That was the idea of buying the one box. And I pulled some nice cards, and I think it kind of shifted away about the money, and it was about the enjoyment of the cards and how detailed, and the design and the artwork on the cards was just so much. For me, the artwork on the cards is better than the Pokemon. I think you probably agree.
Well, the cards are amazing. Some of the the designs on them, and not just that. You know, you have obviously levels of cards, and I've seen like a rare. There's uncommon and rare, right? They're like the sort of the lower cards, and common as well. I've seen common and uncommon cards that look amazing, like hollow versions or whatever, but they look amazing, like compared to, you know, your standard Pokemon cards. I mean, I do like some of the full art Pokemon cards out there, but they're more rare, right? But yeah, yeah, the Dragon Ball Z is one thing, and that's one of the things that kind of sucked me in, was these cards look so good.
Yeah, so it was all, in the beginning, it was all about selling, but it's now become about collecting. And then there became this, once I found out there was this rarity called the God Rare in a set called Realm of the Gods. I was just watching other people pull it and seeing this card. I was like, oh, I need to give this a try. So there was a small obsession of buying this extremely expensive.
So you started with that around that time. So you started collecting, well, not collecting, but buying up boxes and what's called like premium boxes, I guess.
Premium packs.
There we go, premium packs. Yeah. So you start buying them up. And I noticed, on your TikTok channel and the YouTube, you're doing box openings. And what I've seen a lot of producers, so you reveal the cards, and it's all that is behind this hunt for like the rarer cards, the super rare, special rare, secret rare, right? So they're the levels, and the ultimate one being god rare. So you've been and I've been watching kind of the journey with you. So you've been doing these videos hunting for the cards. So what's the the thrill of that, and what's been like the engagement with that as you've done it?
I think opening the Realm of the God set, the cards have been nice anyway, but getting to the point of seeing the price go up, and I've got this certain nature about me sometimes where once I start something, I don't want to give up on it. So it kind of, I think that kicked in. So I ended up going through, I think, like 4 different booster boxes, and I went through probably maybe, I want to say 25 to 30 premium packs before I managed to pull the God Rare.
Just for context, right? In the premium pack, you get 4 packs, right? 4 packs of cards.
So yeah, you get 4 packs of cards, and you get 1 like promotional card, or you get 1 pack that's got 2 promotional cards.
That's like, and it's like 12 cards a pack, right? And then the booster box is it's like 24 packs.
Yeah, and then you've got then you've got a booster box which is like this, and then there's 24 packs in there. Same again, but you get a box topper on there. Will be either an SR or an SPR.
Yeah. So you've gone through all of these, and then
and those Realm of the Gods ones, they were expensive. They weren't like 50-60 pound a box. They were pricey.
Yeah, so there's different sets, right? So Realm of the Gods is like the previous set. Is that, am I right?
2 sets back from the current set we're on.
Okay. And so that's the one with there's a God Rare Vegeta card that you've been hunting. All right. Before you show that, tell us. So I was watching your video. So what? Talk me through it. I know you were kind of losing a bit of hope because you opened, like, if I remember, it was like middle of the night or something. You're suddenly messaging me saying I'm going through like 8 boxes or something. Which it was only meant to be 1 or something that you're filming for YouTube, right?
Yeah. So I think what we did is I said I would open a couple of premiums and then we'd sell some premiums, and then I asked you to pick a number. You picked a number, I picked a number, and I wrote I got a little sticker and I chucked it at the bottom, and I said, I'll only open these 2. I'll only open your one for 1 video. And I opened your one, and there was nothing in there. It was dead. There was not even a single SPR. And I said, guys, this is a disappointing video. Let me just open another one while I'm here. So I grabbed my one, and it was the first pack that I opened. And as soon as I pulled the first card, I could see the shine at the back, and I couldn't focus on anything else. That was it.
Well, I mean, I remember you messaging me in the middle of the night, and then I saw the video. When I thought maybe you got an SCR or something, which is a secret rare card, right? I thought, yeah, maybe you got one of those. And I watched it, and how can we? So yeah, show the card for the camera. Get it. Let's get nice.
Here's the card.
Nice on there. So that's
in the sleeve though, yeah, because it's
no, yeah, of course we don't want
quite delicate. But is the focus on that? I can't really see on mine. But
no, we can. I mean, I can see it pretty clear. Hopefully, sort of viewers, anyone with that is one amazing looking card. Just like the different effects of it. Now, I've not seen you in person, so I've not been able to get my sort of grab your hands on it. Have a real feel of it, but
in person is something else. You can tell the quality on the card is amazing.
That card, I heard it's like you get 1 in like 12 cases.
I think it's currently on that at the moment. Yeah,
and the case is like what, 12 boxes or booster boxes or something.
Yeah, 12 booster boxes, and currently a case goes for about £2,000.
Yeah,
UK.
Wow. So I mean, the luck of finding that. I mean, that is amazing.
No one really pulls them from these premium packs, and that's where we got it from. So that's even rarer. But it's the rarest card you can pull.
How much do these cards sort of go for? Like, what are people paying for these at the minute?
So currently, raw. If this is not graded, then someone may offer up to between 1,800 to 2,000, possibly.
Yeah.
But once it's graded, it changes. It'll go possibly in the 2.5k and up. So we're looking to grade that. So we'll send that off at some point.
I know you had also some anguish after pulling. The next day, you're calling me and saying, "Oh no!" After pulling. So
yeah. So
tell us what happened there.
So it's hard to tell, but after kind of like my excitement of it, I didn't notice, but I had a quick look afterwards, and I noticed it had a print line. So I kind of asked a couple of people who I've got some sources with who grade cards and stuff.
Look at the card.
It'll probably be hard to see.
Yeah.
But if you have a look, it'll be going through Vegeta's right.
Well, I mean, it's up on. I know it's up on our like TikTok channel and Instagram as well, so you can. So I have. Once I saw it, I see every time now. I can see, but I don't. Initially, I was like you. Oh my god! But then, as things have kind of died down, the excitement of it, and I've looked again, I don't think it looks as bad as, but I guess that the grading thing
I
will
think I think recently I've been more reassured because people have been telling me, "Hey, still grade it," because I've got a card that's got a print line,
mm,
and that still gets a 10. Basically, what a print line is something where it's gone wrong during the printing, and it only happens on these really detailed cards where you might get a line through it. That's
yeah.
all it is. Everything else about this card is spot on and perfect because it's been
Mm,
checked by people that send regularly to PSA. So other than
yeah.
that print line, we might get a 9 rather than a 10, a perfect 10. But I'll take
Nine's still pretty good, right? I mean, I've
9.
seen cards at 8 and stuff that
Yeah,
people are still after. So like with PSA, they're based in the US, right?
yes.
Is it quite a journey, shall we say, to get that done, or
Yeah, I think if we send it on a, like a standard economy, it's probably you probably get it back between 120 to 130 days. It'll probably come back. But that PSA is kind of
right.
the most well known. I think
Yeah,
if you're going for like a more probably high end, then probably Beckett grading services are probably the best. And they've got something called a black label where if everything on the card is perfect, then their label changes to black. So you might still get a 10 with a gold label, but if it goes to black, it means it's spot on. And those
I've
sometimes they have
seen.
even more value.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of Beckett. Now that you mention, I mean, I didn't know much about them, but I did notice a couple of graded cards people putting up with like a
Mm,
B and a black on it. Okay, all right. So you've now, I mean, that was the hunt for the God Rare. You've got, you've got it. So the hunt.
done.
So what next? What we're gonna see, in terms of the cards going forward. So obviously, that continues, and in just in terms of collecting.
So I think in terms of collecting, well, I'm definitely a lot more set on collecting Dragon Ball. We do have Pokemon product. If people do want to buy that on the website, we've got Lost Origin, Astro Radiance, Fusion Strike, and a couple of other old booster packs. Quite limited on stock, but we do have them on the website. But for me at the moment, we've been on the Zenkai. If you look at the YouTube videos, we've gone through 10 boxes of Zenkai and we've not pulled a single SCR. We've got some premium packs coming to those, so we're going to open those up and see if we can pull the God Rare or even an SCR at this point. But I think after that, the journey for Zenkai might probably be done because we've got the BT19 coming out, which is the series 2, which is the next Zenkai set. So we'll probably be cracking into those and
Okay. And
providing.
with and this just kind of, I mean, a lot of people who might be listening to this may know already about how some of the stuff work, but some might not. So with Zenkai, it's a new set of cards. Um,
Yeah. So it's
it has
this
its
one
own
here.
God Rare, is it?
Yeah. So it has 3 secret rares and 1 god rare. So this is the second booster box to introduce, or second set, sorry, to introduce the god rare after the Vegeta that we've just shown. And the god rare in this one is Bardock. So that one currently is going between 2 to 3,000.
Yeah.
A graded 10 recently went for I think 4,500.
Yeah. So, but with the Zenkai, you won't be able to get the Vegeta card in these.
No. With the Zenkai, it's got its whole new set of
It's
cards.
all a different
Yeah,
set. Okay.
so it'll have a whole new god rare.
Okay. So if someone's trying to maybe get into um the Dragon Ball cards, trying to get in, much like myself,
Yeah.
I'm quite new at it. Um, what should we be looking at? Like, what would be your advice? Like, what?
I think if you're going to get into any set, the first set I'd probably go for would be Dawn of the Z Legends, although they're selling out everywhere at the moment. It's quite tough to find. It's a good set to start with, to be fair. But I mean, when you're collecting, what you really want to do is you want to collect every single card between 1 to the end. So that means it can get quite expensive, especially if you're hunting for
Mhm.
all the SCRs and the God Rare. But if you are collecting and you're a serious collector, or you want to be a serious collector, you would want a binder of every single card numbered 1 to the end, of foil and non-foil. But Zenkai is a good set to
But
start with.
then to do that, what's the like? Would they have to start with the original sort of packs that were released 5 years ago, whatever that might be called?
So if you want to start collecting from the very beginning, from the first set that's come out, that would be incredibly expensive. So at the moment, the first set that was out was Galactic Battle. which is, I think on its own at the moment is about 500, £400 a booster box. But there's a set called Tournament of Power, and that set is 1.5 to 2K a single box.
Those, yeah, I was gonna say those little.
Oh, sorry, someone's at the door.
24 packs. Okay. Wow. So, yeah. Well, Moose goes and answers the door. Well, yeah. For people who do want to see the video of him opening the Vegeta God Rare, I'll put the link in description. Go check out. Go check the rest of our channel out. He does regular box openings. And yeah, I will do more videos. Little mini. I mean, we've only done. Well, I've only done the little mini review of Dragon Ball Z, but we'll do more of those type videos as well. But yeah, a lot of card reveals and box openings and the TikTok channel as well. All the links will be in the description. So yeah, I'll probably start wrapping up, Moose.
Okay. But I mean, yeah, guys, do check out the videos. Make sure you support, like, share, and we'll keep bringing you more of this if you like it.
Yeah. Well,
and,
yeah, the content's been growing. And I know, like, you've been doing a lot more pushing out on other channels. So you got the Discord up and running now, right?
We'll put that in the link as well. Make sure you join the Discord, guys. Ask us any questions if you want to see some of the cards. If you want to buy some cards, it's all there.
Well, yeah, I mean, one thing I've noticed it is the community. Communities huge, like on TikTok, especially with like some of the like rip and ship channels where I've bought a couple of my packs, and you know, people talk in the comments, and there's all these other Discord channels. People are not advertising, but you know, they're promoting and all about trading with each other. People comparing the cards that they got. You want to sort of get that going. So there's the FOMU collection Discord set up now. Please, yeah, people do go on there and start having conversations with us about your card.
Ask us anything.
About trading. There's a FOMU collection website where you're selling like individual cards and packs as well.
We've got individual cards. We've got sealed products. We've got comic books, graphic novels, collectible stuff. Very collectible stuff.
Yeah, please, people do check it out if that's the sort of thing you're interested in. And yeah, so yeah, the card scene, as I get into, I can see sort of it's just expanding. It's getting bigger and bigger. It sucked me in. I'm sucking someone else in as well. I just, wrong use of words, but yeah, all I can, yeah, just see it. I'm struggling to talk now at the minute, but
basically at the moment Dragon Ball is growing really fast. So if you want to get into something collectible or tradable, if you do, I don't play the game personally. I only collect, but it's definitely.
Does anyone play the game?
Yeah, it's definitely.
Yeah, I mean, that was the point. Yeah, the point I was trying to make was, yeah, we know how big Pokemon is, but we can see like Dragon Ball Z. It's obviously going to take time. But there's people that collected Pokemon in the first few years, and now if they've held on to their cards, they'd be laughing now. So
yeah,
that's what I'd say. I mean, hopefully it goes in that direction. Okay. Also, if anyone, excuse me, if anyone had questions about Dragon Ball cards, not just Dragon Ball cards, but Pokemon cards and TCG cards in general, yeah, throw you a comment. That all right? Or whether it's
ask us anything, guys. Anything.
I'm
available.
A lot of work around sort of different sets. It's not just Dragon Ball, although we're talking about today. It's not just Dragon Ball. Yeah, all sorts. And if people collect something else, and I mate of mine who has gotten into sort of Harry Potter cards. So if there's cards like that that people are into, let us know, and it's something to
we're going to be likely to expand and start getting different sets of cards. We know a lot of people like Yu-Gi-Oh, A lot of people like the Japanese Pokemon as well. There's people getting into Star Wars cards as well. So
Yeah.
there's a lot. There's a lot happening. So we can obviously move into that. But happy to discuss, guys. I mean, let's talk about it on the Discord, and we're going to do some giveaways as well. So yeah, please do subscribe to the channel and on the Discord as well. And we're doing some giveaways. There's some cool stuff.
Excellent. And yeah, and with that, people, I will let you go. I've started up the podcast again, so stay with us until the next one comes up.
Cool. Thanks, guys.